What's up, Survival Dispatch? It's Bear with BearIndependent.com. Come here, bro. Today, we're talking about hardship and voluntary hardship. This is my brother, J.A. Dudley.
Shalom.
You also have a channel on YouTube.
Yeah, it's my name.
Yeah.
YouTube.com/J.A. Dudley.
And if you're wondering about, like, who is this guy, just Google him. Turns out he's kind of a badass. But we encourage y'all to create meaningful relationships with each other. Form a MAG, a mutual assistance group, your prepper team, survivalist crew, whatever you call it. And I think you should do that. That's a really good idea. That's why we encourage you to do it. However, once you've formed the group, if you're not taking the time to do difficult things together, to voluntarily engage in hardship, you're not going to have the context with one another to trust each other or to know each other well enough.
Exactly.
Would you speak to that a moment?
Well, if you can trust someone with your gait, you could trust someone with your life. If you could trust someone with a chainsaw buzzing by your head, you can trust someone with your life. If you could trust someone setting a fire and burning brush, you could trust someone with your life.
Yeah.
Because they are able to get things done without you having to hover over them. And if they're doing it out the kindness of their heart, not expecting for anything in return, it's just brotherly love.
And I get to see y'all under stress, and you get to see me under stress. And I get to learn what pushes your buttons, and you get to learn what pushes my buttons. And I get to see you around my wife and kids, and you get to see me around your wife and kids. And now we have an understanding of each other, much more so than if we didn't hang out, or we only hung out. You only got our mag together one Sunday of every month, and today we're going to talk about commo, or today we're going to go do pistol 1 or carbine 2. And all that's good. You should do that. But in addition to that, voluntarily do difficult things together. We're on day 2 of out here essentially logging my property.
Exactly.
And it's hot, and we're sweaty, and it's kind of miserable work, but it's got to get done.
Don't listen to them. It's fun work.
It's fun work.
It's just time consuming.
It's just time consuming.
And my fingers smell like diesel.
Yeah, and my hands smell like pine. Yeah, we should make a detergent or something.
Yeah, that'll work.
That'd be a good idea. Some type of pine scented cleaner. I don't know if anybody's thought of that before.
I don't know. It might work.
But and see, the other thing with context is when you want to, say you get your mag together and everybody's hanging out, right? We had a brother talking about this yesterday. If you don't have context with one another, there's always that reservation in the back of your mind. Can I really trust this person?
What if?
What if? Do they really have what it takes? Or are they all talk, or are they going to prove that through their actions, not by their words, that, yeah, they're in. I can trust them. They're dependable. But more so than that, there can be an air of resentment from the people who are doing the things to the people that aren't doing the things, that are just part of the group. Mm-hmm. And so you want to be voluntarily involved in what the group has going on. And if you're a group leader, you need to be creating opportunities for people to plug in. And it's not just at my place, it's at your place or anybody else's place. Hey, we got to do a thing. Awesome. How many people can we stack on top of this problem?
And get it done.
In fact, I'm going to go get the tripod. Best production quality on the internet. Everybody tells me this. And so, Survival Dispatch peeps, the point of this is that it's not just talking about things. It's not just doing the things, and you should absolutely be doing the things. Much more so, you should be creating opportunities for your people to be meaningfully engaged with one another so that you can remove the doubt in your mind about whether or not this person has what it takes to be a part of my crew. So here we go. All right, tripod, hands-free. You're welcome. Look, Ma, no hands. So you've been involved in fight clubs and stuff like that.
Yes, indeed.
And so the concept of pressure testing something, this is something that Decline and Decay, Angry American and Alan Kay. They have a whole chapter on pressure testing stuff, pressure testing people. Can you speak to that? I mean, how many times have you seen somebody who's all talk and then you've got them on the ground rubbing your forearm across their face?
That sounds like a good Wednesday evening right there, training. But a lot of people will, the background that I have, it's MMA fighting. Like he told you, you could Google me. But people will walk into the gym like, oh, I want to be an MMA fighter. Okay, well, have you ever grappled before? Oh, yeah, I could grapple. Oh, have you ever boxed before? Yeah, I could do that. Have you ever kickboxed before? Can you put it all together? Can you put it all together while under stress? Can you put it all together while the time is ticking? When your plan goes completely out of the window, how do you adapt and adjust? And are you able to adapt and adjust when somebody's talking crap to you while you are stuck there? Neither one of your arms can move, neither one of your legs can move. And it's just the simplest thing that your coach taught you. Just move your hips like this, you'll be out and free and be able to reverse. Will you have that opportunity and mindset not to be able to get stuck in that position? Mm-hmm. So that happens in a real world thing. Well, are you making yourself available to be able to help others? Because when shit hits the fan and you're looking for people to come help you, well, where were you when there wasn't pressure in your training? And now that it's you're actually in a fight for your life, are you going to be able to go help others? And will others that you've helped in the past be able to come help you? And that's how you build relationships, to be able to test people's mind, heart, and soul.
And training also, like as you're doing meaningful things together, because there is training, right? We're going to go, run pistols and rifles, or I'm going to go let Dudley punch me in the face a bunch or whatever, right? Like all these things are training, but this right now is training because we're spending meaningful time together. We're learning how each other works. And 80% of communication is nonverbal. It's not simply what I say to you. It's how do I behave around you? What's my body language? Am I there, like you said, when you need me, right? 80% of communication is nonverbal. If you don't know me well enough to know how I'm communicating when I'm not speaking, we've got an issue. But also, as you're training, not only are we building these bonds between each other, the members of your team, your crew, you're also identifying your own weaknesses within this. Oh, I don't like it when Bob talks to me that way. Is that Bob's issue or is that my issue? Or, hey, he's way better at throwing punches than I am. Is that his issue or my issue? How do I get better at that? How do I block those giant haymakers that he's got, right? Things like that. Or, wow, Bear shoots faster with a carbine than anybody else on this crew. How do we fix that, right? And so all of this comes back to context. You have to have the context with one another. And the good stuff, the sitting around on the porch, drinking a beer or an iced tea, the sitting around drinking coffee, talking about the stuff, that fellowship aspect of what you're doing is really, really cheap if you don't put in the time beforehand to be present and do difficult things together. That's how the military builds units. They put them through simulated or actual hardship. And when they come out the other side of that, they know I can depend on J.A. Dudley. I can depend on Stalwart Peacekeeper. I can depend on all these other people on our crew because we've done hard shit together. And so do not neglect the opportunity to do difficult things together. Not only should you be engaging with hardship, you should be looking for it. Because the idea that when the balloon goes up, me and my crew that's never been pressure tested are gonna come together and all of a sudden on the worst day of our life, do the most difficult things that we've ever done together as a cohesive unit without ever having done it before is pure fantasy. And that's what I wanted to share with you all today. Bear of Bear Independent, J.A. Dudley. Both of us are on YouTube. I'm also on Patreon. If you need handmade, made in America, guaranteed forever, blowout kits that exceed mil spec, best kits on the market, you can find us at refugemedical.com. Make sure you are subscribed to survivaldispatch.com and YouTubes and all the things. And thank you for allowing 2 bearded survivalists this time into your presence. Bless y'all. Bear out.
Malfunction.
You thought we were done. We're not. What were you saying?
We were just I was just thinking about the past 2 days of bringing the 3 trees down on property. We had heat exhaustion going on because it was extremely hot out here. We had equipment failures that if we were in a real life situation, it showed us how we were to come together to take care of those things. There was a brother 40 feet, 50 feet in the air. He started having some heat exhaustion. He finished up, came down, needed to take a break. We were sending waters up to him. One of the trucks on property with a winch was dragging logs and stuff, big giant tree trunks, but then out of nowhere, it stopped shifting in gear.
Yep.
Like, what are we going to do now? If we were actually doing taking care of our property, meaning that people were trying to come to us or we're trying to get somewhere, there's roadblocks on the road. How are we going to mitigate those problems? If you're trying to bug out, some people put logs and stuff in the road, you move it out the way, but then all of a sudden your gear shift isn't going to go. What are you going to do now?
Well, see, this is the thing. People are like, well, I'm just gonna. See, and we talk about, one of my favorite quotes is, idealism increases with distance from the problem. You're this far away from the problem, so you think you're being very ideal when you say, I'm just gonna do this. Get right up on top of that problem, get in it. Oh, well, I'll just cut the tree out of the way. Cool. When was the last time you checked the saw that you're gonna use? How's the gas in it? Is the spark plug squared away? Is the chain sharp? You know how much noise that makes? Do you have extra fuel? Do you have an extra chain? Do you have bar oil? Do you have files? Do you have a spare spark plug? All right, now you got to cut up. We'll just use the winch on the front of the truck. Great idea. When was the last time you checked the fuse in the winch? Oh, we're dragging the truck. That had an adverse effect on the transmission linkage. How are we going to fix that? Blah, 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 blah. And so hardship, one should voluntarily engage with hardship to train and learn from it now, rather than letting it be an idealism thing later in the game when it actually matters. That's why we train.
Exactly.
Right? The more we sweat in training, the less we bleed in combat. So go do hard things together and build that context.
And it's not only just training. A lot of people will get it stuck in their mind, oh, we have to put together an itinerary of our training. No, hey, your wife wanted better sunlight for her garden, so we took down some trees. Some people have skills with felling trees, others don't, and then we all came together with all of our strengths and boosting up each other's weaknesses to get those jobs done. And then there was hardship in between. Doing real life together is better than coming together for a weekend retreat, because a weekend retreat, you get to go home. Well, what if this happened? What if that happened? No, this is a day-to-day process that you have to get through to be able to test your merit and your goal.
Perfect. Bless y'all.
Shalom.
Shalom.